we gotta hit Matt with the recap, give him a little catch up on what happened last time. Nothing too crazy. Um, are we rolling?
Yep.
Okay, great. So last time, you guys were fixated on this ramshackle inn. After kind of learning a little bit about its past, in terms of the previous owner was apparently found hung, dead. Um, in the place. The place was kind of like boarded up. It seems like the town was they stored a bunch of stuff in there, and then they kind of sealed it up. Jimothy went to kind of explore, found kind of like from the back, like that the rear like windows were kind of like not boarded up. So he kind of went in, peeked in, saw something kind of like move out, and then noticed that there was a chest out there.
With the Groot's logo on it?
With the Groot's logo on it, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, afterwards, you guys kind of went back up front. Somebody kind of noticed you guys were peeking in. You guys convinced them that it was nothing. Then kind of towards the end of it, Oz decides to Misty step into the house after seeing kind of like a little bit, and did a little bit of initial exploring and found that there was these kind of like large insectoid looking thingies. They were pretty vicious. You guys did a little bit of like switcheroo, like Oz was kind of exploring from the inside. He flew around, saw these things. Asilo went to the back and just smashed his way in. He didn't give
I
no fucks.
gently knocked on the door with a natural 20.
With a natural 20, the door flew in. Zoran decided to stay outside and kind of keep watch. And she had her own little like little situation where someone like heard this, obviously, came over. She wasn't very persuasive. They went off and went to go get maybe some of the local guards slash militia of Lonelywood. They came back, started questioning her, and this is all happening while you guys are kind of exploring the inside of the house. But anyhow, when the guards come in to question her, she takes off, bolts towards the speaker's house. And the speaker is just like this nice old halfling lady. She offers her cookies. In terms of like trying to make a deal, and the speaker quickly like shuts down the guards like attempts after they arrive of like saying, oh, she was doing some weird stuff about the ramshackle, because Zoran said that the Southerners would take care of the moose problem. And so anyhow, she goes back. This is all happening while the rest of you are inside fighting these like large bug things. You kind of clear through most of the rooms, and in one of the rooms you come across that the chest was in a mimic. Lashes out at Oz. Oz is I think did you Misty step out of its mouth? Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I did.
And then after that, Asilo and company kind of dispatched with the rest of it, them, and then the what's it called, the mimic. And within the mimic's mouth, after it's dead, kind of like falls out this tiny this ring. And that's kind of like the items listed here in the comments. What it turns out to be a pretty nice a ring of protection, which will give you +1 to, I believe, AC and saving throws. So it's a pretty rare thing. And that's kind of where we ended up last time. Just kind of deciding what are you going to do with it, and then if potentially meeting back up with the speaker and kind of like figuring out details or kind of go tracking down this moose. We assumed I didn't even do anything with Jimothy. Jimothy just kind of hung out.
Yeah, that's good.
He was just kind of like, oh yeah, I got this. But he is in the house as well. You're more welcome. You cleared out most of the rooms. You technically have one room left that you haven't cleared out. That's a far one. That's actually the door is open to. And we'll pick it up there. So I'll pause. Jimothy, if you want to move around the house to kind of see, or not the house, the end of the building to see where we're at. It is dark. It didn't have any light, so if you don't have any dark vision or anything like that, you probably need a torch. But you'll see bodies everywhere.
I will search through the last room, see if I find anything useful.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, yes, I will get to that. It's kind of like as Jim maybe. I just want to give Jim a chance to kind of like explore the place a little bit. But yeah, what do you guys want to do with this last room here? So, so Sal, you step in. So you give me a perception check or investigation. Sorry, give me an investigation to kind of search through the room. Okay, so that's pretty good with a 16. So you notice in this room that there is a chest that looks like the exact same one that was the shape of the mimic in that room.
It's a trap.
Clearly, I think this is something Oz needs to deal with again.
Set it on fire!
I was about to say, I'm going to smack it with my torch.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Roll to attack to smack with torch. Okay. So you smack it. You kind of like burned a little bit of the you don't just smack it, so it's not enough like contact to like it catch the flame, but whatever flames lick across the chest do kind of singe it a little bit, and it doesn't seem to jump out or activate. It seems to be like a regular old chest.
Okie dokie.
Okay. It is indeed locked. And then Jimothy, as you're approaching, based on like your understanding, this seems to be the room that you peeked in on when you went from above.
So this
when
is
you
the
went from the
chest that I
back,
actually saw.
you climbed up and looked in. Yeah.
Jimothy will run in and see if he sees any traps.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an investigation on the chest, please. It just seems to be locked. It doesn't seem to be trapped. It is kind of one of those that like the way it's locked, it looks like it's like embedded into the chest and requires a key to put it in there. So it looks like it's not like it has like a lock on the front of it or something like that.
I'll try to pick the lock if I can.
Okay, go for it.
Can I search the room to see if I can find like a key?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, give me another investigation check. And then Zoran. Sorry, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Well, what roll do you want me to do for the?
Oh yes.
Sleight of hand or?
Yeah, sleight of hand for that. And then, yeah, unfortunately no dice.
Well, one dice, just not a very good one.
No dice.
No die.
I have disowned the die. It's out.
Zoran, you start hearing a little bit of like steps coming to the side of the building, and then someone like coming towards the back.
I don't think I'm here.
Where are you?
She's in the speaker's office.
Oh, you're still there. That's right. That's right.
Remember?
Okay.
And then she said it was fine, and she was like, "Oh, well, where's the rest of your group?" I'm like, "Oh, they're at the tavern, so I'm gonna be at the tavern."
That's
trying
right.
to collect information. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll have the rest of you give me a perception to see if you hear this. Those of you that are in the house still, or in the inn.
Say, Timothy, Zoran tried lying last week, and it worked out about as well as you could expect.
Oh wow.
You're just too
Or I'm
honest.
the week before was totally fine. I totally convinced that dude that we were in the market to buy this building. So it's totally fine.
Well, what have you done for us lately?
I'm not there, Jimothy. So
Silo, unfortunately, you can't really see much. Everyone else could hear that there's some commotion coming out, or some people coming from the side of the house. Jimothy, with your check, you can determine that it's 2 individuals that are coming to the side of the house. You can hear them maybe chat, they're like whispering. It seems that they're like. The rest of you kind of like hear like maybe footsteps. Some of them are like you hear whispering. They're like, okay, you go in from the back, clear up the top, and then the other one goes, okay, I'll look towards the bottom.
Can I run to the window real quick and look out and see if I see the people? Happen to if they're on this side of the house, maybe?
Yeah, you could. So let's say, going back to your roll here on the sleight of hand, you crush it, no problem. Click, you get it. It takes you. Then you just crush the box, and it's all the nice fragile things in there shattered. No, so you can look out, and then you see these you kind of see at the edge of the window there that are like two armed guards, kind of coming towards the back of the inn. And then they're it looks like they're what you would gather to be like the back door that you envision. They're approaching it, and it's kicked in, as you. So it's not really a door anymore. An opening.
I'm gonna poke my head out the window really fast and say, "Get inside, quick, before the bugs get you!"
Okay, give me a deception roll, please. And they're like, they shout back, "You wait right there. We'll be right up. You're under arrest." And
back.
You hear shuffling in there.
I will jump out behind them.
Say that again?
If they come in the house, I'm going to jump out the window and leave. I'm assuming my friend's going to hear them yelling. If they didn't hear them whispering, I'm assuming they heard that.
Yeah, no, yeah. So okay, so you're gonna hop out. Are you gonna take the chest?
If they go in the bottom floor, I'm just going to jump out the window and go out.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Well,
You see Jimothy, are you taking the chest out first?
What did I see in the chest? Or did I even look at it, I guess?
You open it up, quick glance, and you look. It looks like it's got there is some. You don't have enough time to count, but there is money in there. So there is some gold and silver. You
More than I can just grab in my hand real quick and just go. It's gonna be a substantial amount of stuff or something.
It's not that large of a chest, so it'd be difficult. It's maybe
Okay, then I'll relock it if I can. Yeah. If I can get it to relock.
Yeah.
And then I will jump out the window with it.
Okay. All right. Give me. Oof. I feel like this is probably acrobatics.
Perfect.
Check, I guess. So as you do that, what are the rest of you doing first? Because you see Jimothy's opening up the window and he's about to jump out. Are you following suit, or are you guys just kind of
I mean, I have no reason not to.
Okay. How about not injuring yourself? That's a pretty good reason.
No, that seems.
Break a leg.
Yeah. Go heaving myself out. It's only the 2nd floor.
That's so funny. This is what I love about D&D. I would what? I'm not gonna do that. But in this world, you're fuck it. Of course they would jump out.
100%. I mean, that's the smart play. Come in, and as you come in, I'm fucking leaving. Smell you later.
Exactly. Your friend jumps off a bridge. Would you jump off a bridge too? That's literally the scenario.
I need more context. Is there a raging bear behind me? Then yeah, I'm probably jumping off the bridge.
Fair enough. Okay. In this situation, there are 2 armed guards.
Well, that doesn't sound like a raging bear to me, okay? I'm just gonna point that out.
Yes, in all circumstances. Okay, so Jimothy's
So-
jumping out. What are you guys doing? You have a little bit of time to react here.
Is this like a balcony area? Or is it just a hall?
Yeah, this is like a balcony area. Yeah, exactly. So there's like a balcony, so you can like jump back to the first level and then go out to the front or the back, wherever you want in this hallway.
Is there a big tree to jump into off the second floor, or is it straight down?
So there's like a little bit of gap because like between like the forest line and like it is like by the trees, but there's like maybe like 15-20 foot horizontal distance between like the edge of the tree. So
Is this building up to code? Because I assume there's a fire escape ladder outside.
to go in what time period? I don't even know.
I hope you planned for this also, you fucking DM.
Are you trying to say, people from the past were stupid? And they didn't have fires back in the day?
I planned for it in the sense that I figured it would be a possibility. I didn't plan for it to have information of whether this building's up to code. I know. Just some shitty DMing, I understand.
Gosh. I'm going to have to rate this 1 out of 5 tonight.
That's too bad. Well, to be fair, to answer your question, no, there's no fire escape. It is not up to code, or it is just a window. And
damn Northerners.
Ian did say it was a dilapidated building, so that's kind of on you guys.
No excuse.
So, yeah. I guess. These guys are coming.
Yes.
Wait,
I'm gonna need a decision here. I'm gonna run the circle here. Silo, what are you doing first?
Since this is like a balcony area, as they come in the door, I run in this room, grab the dead bug, and chuck it over the balcony, like towards their feet. It's like, kill the bugs! Exterminators at work! Smash them now!
Okay. Give me an athletics check, and then based upon that, I'll see if I have you roll deception.
How high up are we?
You guys are about maybe like 15 feet up, maybe 12 to 15 feet, and then like the ceiling goes up like an additional like 6 feet up. So the whole like from the first floor to the top is like to the ceiling is like 20 feet or so.
Okay.
Dirty 20 on the athletics check.
Okay, so you chuck it, and you chuck it pretty far. It gets to like the rear, and then I'm gonna have you roll deception to see if they buy this thing, like looking like it's gonna attack them. It's more of just like
deception.
whether. Okay, and I will see to the roll here, because it's only fair. All right. I'll deal with that in a second. Buffades, what are you doing?
I'm heading out the window with Jimothy.
Okay. Acrobatics check, please. And then
All right.
odds.
Don't break your goat legs.
You said those trees were like 15 feet away?
I mean, yeah. Let's say that. Why not?
Okay.
Why? Do you have some? I mean, you're gonna try to aim for them? Like that's a horizontal distance of 15 feet. Like.
Yeah. How far can you jump when running? It's like,
You're gonna be like, what's her name in the Matrix, Trinity? You're gonna run and jump through a window, land on a tree.
Okay. I think it's like your strength. Like if you have enough, like if you have a running start, I think it's like up to your strength, if I remember correctly.
oh, okay.
3 plus your strength Wait, no, that's height.
It's with a running start of 10 or feet more, you can jump the distance equal to your strength score. So
Okay.
I would say you would have that in this room.
Awesome. All right.
So whatever your strength score is, which is
8.
13.
Oh.
13. Okay. You're not gonna make it, bud. So you're gonna
You
need
can
some.
jump 13
So-
feet horizontally.
So I'm gonna launch myself out the window, and I'm going to use my mirthful leaps to add 1d8 to my distance.
Oh, I love this. This is
Ugh.
perfect. Okay. All right, roll that d8. Sorry, Jimmy, you're muted. What'd you say?
So he's gonna be 1 foot short.
God, probably.
All right.
Now he's going to be 2 feet over. He just.
I was gonna say he launched over the trees.
Well, see, my concern is I said this, but now I feel like I'm gonna have to make some sort of catch to catch the tree.
Okay. So, other question you didn't ask. You didn't even ask how tall these trees are. They could be like little shrubs. You just like go.
You're right. No, 100%. Bofades just launched himself out this window.
It's
just,
Charlie
like,
Brown's
lay it-
Christmas tree.
He said, "Oh, we're going."
Or it's like a cottonwood covered in those 2-inch spikes.
Yeah.
Land on a locust tree.
Black locust.
Yeah, they're only like 10 feet tall, and it's just like spikes just pointing up on. Okay, give me an athletics check in this instance, actually, to see if you can hold on to these. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we will deal with that. So buffet, not buffets. Oz, what are you doing?
Just gonna misty step out the window.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you cast that. You misty step. So you come out. Where are you landing? Are you just kind of landing at the bottom there, or anywhere?
Probably like 5 feet away from the building. Maybe over by Jimothy, just kind of next to Jimothy.
All right, so let's go to the order of things. So Jimothy, you jump out, you land, you don't take any damage. So you're able to kind of hold on with the chest. It's a bit harder, so you don't perfectly land, but you don't hurt yourself. So you kind of like hold yourself. The chest seems to be intact. Nothing was shuffled, not too badly. Silo, as you chuck these things at them, the guard's like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" And then they're like, "Hey, it's dead!" And then they start making their way to the stairs, and then start running up. Bofades, you jump, and then with an 18, you kind of slam it. So these are like evergreen, so you get like a bunch of snow starts flying off, and then like you're like got pines and needles like all over you, but you're able to hold on. You notice that you crush a nest of a bird.
Probably like critically endangered up here in the north.
You like, I'm just like, that's the first thing that came to mind. You like kill a California condor nest. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, you crush a nest. So you got like a bunch of like random twigs and stuff all over you, but you're able to hold on. And you make it now. And then Oz, no problem. You Missy step. You pretty much appear right next to Jimothy. Jimothy, you notice immediately that like Oz blinks like right in front of you. And then let's kind of go back to Asilo here. Asilo, they're rushing up the steps here, and I'll throw them up on the map here. Give me 1 second here. What are you doing in the meantime?
I jump over the railing.
As they're coming up, you're gonna jump over.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna time it to okay.
Like as soon as I get to the top of the landing, I'm gonna jump over the railing.
Okay.
The only way this would be funnier is if Asilo had like grasshopper legs and could get back up to the balcony.
Okay, so let me grab one of these guys. there. So yeah, you see that there's two of them run up. As they're following up, you jump over. Okay. Give me an athletic or acrobatic check, please. Okay, no problem. You jump over, land, you avoid, because like I told you, this room was like filled with a bunch of like stuff all throughout the, just like timber and like metals and like random people's belongings. But you land in a safe spot. You're able to kind of, they shout out, "Hey, where the hell do you think you're going?" And what are you doing next?
I will bolt towards the door, but as I'm running by one of the frozen bugs, I will attempt to shatter it towards the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Roll to attack on it. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention this, Timothy. Yeah, some of these like bugs, well, some of them were like just like you see their carcass. Some of them are like perfectly frozen, like statues. As Oz casted, I think it was Cone of Cold, right, on them to freeze all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, so roll to attack. Yeah, no problem. You smash this thing into smithereens, and it just like sends like a lot of just like little like shards of crystals, just like or ice crystals, just towards the staircase. They kind of like shield their faces. And like, oh look, like it like cuts them a little bit, and that gives you enough time to kind of run out.
I don't know where the door is to get out.
That's fine. No, it was like right here. I didn't have it like hanged, but yes, the rear door is there.
Okay.
Okay, so you are out. All right. Just so we're not actually like going around. What are you guys trying to do? Let's say for now you guys have enough time to kind of escape. You kind of giving yourself enough distance. Where are you going, or what are you doing? Or vice versa. What are you doing?
I think we're going to go to the police station to turn ourselves in.
Okay, that's one suggestion. Any other suggestions?
Well,
I'll come back to you. I want to come back to you, Bofades, in just a second, but the rest of you, what do you want to do? You're still on the tree there.
Yes.
As I run out
Timothy,
the door,
I
yell.
don't know where Silo went. And Bofades is up in a tree, so not our best look.
Yeah, but where would you guys want to go? Like, did you guys plan on meeting up somewhere else? Did you guys just kind of like every man for themselves for a bit, and until you kind of settle on a spot?
We don't know that Zoran went to see the speaker already.
Correct. You assumed that Zoran was out up front, keeping watch. That was like the idea. So
She didn't warn us, so clearly she's dead.
I mean, speaking pretty loudly, but the thing is, none of you were trying to listen for the front. So the point of being a lookout is someone still has to be paying attention to what's happening outside.
Doesn't Jimothy still have like a psychic connection to somebody?
Did I do that the last time I played?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, it might be Oz, because I think because either it's Oz or Asilo, one of the two.
Yeah, or I think it could be both. You can have it up to how many people?
So it's let me see. Proficiency bonus. So it's up to what's up?
3.
Okay.
I don't specifically remember doing that, but if you guys remember me doing that, then
So I thought Oz did, but then I thought he dropped it in order to cast something else.
Oh, I see here where I did it at some point.
This ability isn't Oz's ability, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, this is Jimothy ability. It doesn't require concentration. but I don't know who I would have done that with, I guess.
Okay. You can decide that now, if you'd like. If you'd like to use it. I'm not forcing you one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say Oz, both 80s, and a silo, because I don't really know. I mean, I guess I feel like I can't go back and say that I did it with Zoran now that she's not here.
Sure.
So I'll just do the rest of the party for now.
Okay. All right. So you establish that connection. Bofades, you are up this tree. You've gripped the trunk of it, or one of the branches. So you somehow like landed on one of the branches, because that's, I guess, where the nest would be. That's thick enough to hold on to you. What are you doing?
So my only goal after that was just to shimmy down quickly and join the rest of the party.
Okay, give me another athletic check then. See if you can catch up here.
That just seemed like the safer route than launching myself off the balcony in a free fall. So you said,
I mean, it rolled well enough not to take any damage. Okay. 20. Yeah, no problem. You're able to, you kind of like lift up the branch, kind of like shimmy on over to the trunk, and then you start kind of like making your way down, gripping the side of it. It takes a little bit of time, but you get to the bottom unscathed.
And Bofades' head, he's like, just like I planned it. Perfection.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll say, okay, so you guys are all down. Where are you guys going? I think we didn't quite settle that. Now you have that communication with Jimothy. Jimothy, you want to specify a location to meet up, or like kind of meet up with the squad again, or?
I mean, yeah, I would think we would figure out a rendezvous point that was outside of view of the window that the guards were probably running up to.
Yeah. So there, I mean, this town is not too particularly large. There's the tavern, the Lucky Liar, if you'd like to go there. That's kind of like a spot to start out. You can go to the speaker's house. That was you guys kind of agreed upon that was something you were going to do after you were checking out the ramshackle. So if you guys wanted to meet there, you did say that was like,
yeah.
So
how close is the speaker's house to the Lucky Liar?
The Lucky Liars. So where you guys are at are kind of like, you notice that like at the ramshackle is like adjacent to the docks on it's west of you, and the Lucky Liar would be kind of like going north along the docks, and it kind of like wraps all the way around based on like kind of the description that the one of the individuals you met in front of the shops. The speaker's house is still going north along the docks, but you kind of go back. The road kind of splits to the north and to the east, and it's just slightly to the east.
I'll say the Psych whispers that we should go to the inn, the Lucky Liar, and that I will kind of wait around, maybe outside somewhere, and look for to see if I see Zoran anywhere.
Okay. So yeah. Zoran, let's go to you. You're heading towards the Lucky Liar.
Yeah, because that's where my party is. Because that's what I told the speaker they were at, which is why they weren't with me.
Right.
So I'm gonna go to the Lucky Liar, and I'm gonna talk to some people. What was it? Not farmers. What were they? Who were supposed to be?
Or loggers.
Fishermen. The loggers, yes. So I'm gonna talk to some loggers, see what info I can get about this moose, where it tends to attack people, that sort of thing. If it frequents the same areas or something.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you give me? So, are you going to the? So let's say you come in, and it's pretty it's bustling. A couple people are talking about they're describing a bit of the Lucky Liar scripture for Zorn. That's perfect. So you come in and you see just a like people are kind of like split up into like their professions. So like one table you see it's like seems like a lot of the men have like their axes kind of like at their sides or like placed in the app. Seemed like that's where the loggers are at. Some of the fishermen, they're kind of all hanging out. You see a couple other people. And those are like the two main ones here, and then you see a couple of different like various different individuals at some of the tables there. You do see that there is someone running the bar, and it looks like it's like a dark-haired human. And yeah, she just keeps kind of like working quietly, and she's not really talking to anybody. When people like request orders, she doesn't like say anything. She's just like just doing her job and doing the bare minimum to not really speak to anyone.
Well, I'm gonna go to the bartender at least. Order a drink, meal.
Okay.
Nah, just a drink. Just a drink.
Okay, just a drink.
I'm gonna ask. I'm newer in town, trying to see if I can strike up conversation with her. See if I can pique her interest.
She's like, no time to talk. Here's your drink, 2 silver.
I'm gonna give her 4 silver and see. Are you sure you don't have time to talk? Just a little bit? A minute?
She pauses, looks at you, and she's just like, sighs a little bit. She's not looking to talk, but she's just like, okay, what are you looking for? Who are you again?
So I'm with the Southerners. We're trying to figure out your guys' moose problem. So like, is there a group in here? I'm guessing it's those loggers, but do they typically come in talking about their, encounters with the moose?
Yes, I mean, this is the first time it's been a bit more lively. Typically, it's either mourning a loss of one of them or claiming that they saw it and it spared their lives. Those are mainly the 2 stories I've heard, and then as of recent, they say that the moose speaks a particular language, not just making regular moose sounds or like. To be honest, I don't quite know. I don't really know what a moose sounds like. But I'm assuming a bellows of some sort.
Is that Celso or her talking?
Both. I don't really not too many moose encounters, to be honest.
All that pops in my head is Ace Ventura on an airplane. Yuck! Yuck!
So she does her best impression of that. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what is wrong with this woman?
So she's just like, that's really all I can say. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, you did pay me 2 extra silver.
Are those guys pretty trustworthy guys over there, or they tend to embellish, or?
And she kind of like you give me an insight check. She's been keeping like a pretty like straight face for the most part.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, yeah, so she's just like, I don't really try to pay attention as much as really just as much as possible. I just try to just give out the drinks.
I appreciate it. I'll give her another 2 silver and take my drink and go over to the other table.
And
well, no. Is there an empty table next to the table of loggers?
There's not really another empty table. You notice that like there's like a small fire there, and there seems to be like a couple of like stumps placed around the fire. So you could like take one of those and just like kind of be warming up by the fire.
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay. So you do that, and then why don't you give me a perception check to see what you kind of overhear.
Let me cast this on myself.
Okay, let's get that D4 in there. Okay.
All right. 13.
13. Okay. So there today, like, the conversation really isn't too much about, like, the moose in particular. But then one of them claims that they saw like a ghost out there. They're just like, I'm telling you, man, like, I'm telling you, it was like this elven like lady was out there, like, and she looked like, I don't know, she had like a bow or something. And the other guy's like, whatever, dude. You've been out in the woods for far too long. You're starting to see things. It's like, no, man, I'm telling you. And like, she was gonna shoot at me, and then I don't know, man, I don't know. And then the other guy goes, oh, that's nothing. I've seen two ghosts out there. And the other guy's like, two ghosts? It's like, yeah, they were like dwarves, and they were like holding a war hammer and a battle axe. And you could tell that guy's like just full of shit. He's just trying to like one up the other guy's story. And he's just like, dude, come on, like, just stop lying. Like, it's like, I'm telling you guys, there's a ghost out there, and there's a moose out there, and like things are just not normal in the woods out there. And then one of the other guys chimes up.
3 halflings in a coat.
And he goes, he's like, wait, hang on a second. Like, what did the ghosts look like? And they're just like, oh, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's like, no, like, tell me, like, what do you remember? And he's like, oh, he's like, she had this long hair. She looked pretty young of face. And I don't know, she was wearing like almost like it's like some sort of like leather armor or something like that. I don't know. She seemed like she was ready for combat. And the guy's like, I feel like and he's like, I feel like I know who that is. And then he's like, I think like my grandma used to tell me a story about a ghost that used to haunt the woods, and it was a ghost of some famous warrior or ranger of some sort. And he's just like, oh, I don't remember. But and the other guys are like, all right, enough with your bullshit. And he's just like, and then they start like, let's get more drinks. And then they all like go to the barkeep. They don't go, actually all go. They send like somebody's like, hey, you. And you see this like scrawny looking kid. He's like, get us more ale. And the scrawny kid like rolls his eyes, and he goes up and like goes to the barkeep to order some more ale for the gents here. And that's what you were here.
So this hunter that they're describing, if it's elven, is that something that sounds familiar to me because I'm a elf ranger?
Yeah, give me a history check.
A 19.
Okay, a 19. Okay. So you don't exactly, so this is one of those stuff things, like, you're not exactly sure who specifically it is. But you recall that there, like, that like lore, that legend does kind of like check it. Like, there used to be someone like pretty renowned up here that like hunted and they were just like, they like, you seem like, it's like, oh, I don't quite remember on this. Like, if like I knew the name, I could connect it to the story, because like, as you're kind of like growing up over time, you hear stories from a bunch of different famous people, and you're like, you can't quite piece who it is, but you do feel like this story checks out. One thing that you do understand, though, is that like it's based on like in terms of like what you've seen and like encountered in terms of like spirits and stuff like that. Something that like that's kind of like maintaining them on like this plane or this realm here is typically that something has either they did something wrong, like that's like their spirit is kind of like punished to like roam this world, or they have like something that hasn't been resolved for them internally that's keeping them attached to this plane. So based on like, and you've encountered some spirits in terms of like the White Lady Ian and like doing like so you have a bit more idea of what this is supposed to be. So that's what you know.
Cool. So where I'm sitting near the fire, can I also see the door or like a window outside? Do I see my friends or anything?
Yeah. So after a bit of time of listening, the group of individuals kind of like start slowly trickling in. Jimothy, do you keep the chest with you? Do you just kind of carry it with you, or are you planning on doing something with it before you come into this establishment?
No, I think I'll bring it with me, and then when I get inside, I'll put it on the table and like put my outer coat over top of it.
Okay.
And then I'll keep it under my coat on the table.
Okay. Give me a. Ooh, this is probably sleight of hand, perhaps. Yeah. Okay, 21. Okay, let me do a couple rolls here. Okay. Jimothy, give me a perception check, please. Okay. So, with the 10, all right. So you get to the table. Yeah, you conceal it, no problem. You notice, not to say, sorry, you notice where Zoran's sitting by the fire. She's kind of like just seems like she's keeping warm. You notice that she kind of briefly like scans over to the table of loggers. What are you guys doing? Are you guys just kind of like approaching her, or what do you guys want to do? Yeah, there actually is like there seems to be one that's like it's like you can tell that it's kind of like not like one of the legs is a little short or something like that, so it's like a little like tilted. It's like almost noticeable, but that one is open. All right.
Good to see you. I didn't know you were gone.
Yep.
Must have been something.
All right. Okay, so you guys get over there. What are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, just how we've been at the at this table for hours.
Zora, you notice that they're like at this table and you're like, what the fuck?
I'll tell Zoran that I'll quietly say it, assuming I can look around and see it as like anyone like super nearby paying attention to what we're saying or anything.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it seems like most people are kind of like kept to their conversations, or kind of like the stories continue about like random bullshit that they've encountered, or retelling a story, and they're like, oh, we've heard that one before, tell another one, god damn it. Stuff like that.
Okay, so then I'll lean over and kind of whisper that guard showed up at the ramshackle and that we had to run.
And if anyone asks, we've been here the whole time.
Did I assume the guards that saw me when I stuck my head out the window? I mean, I imagine they're going to be able to recognize me.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It was kind of a quick glimpse, but like, it's likely because you were kind of like telling them to quickly get inside and stuff like that. You were trying to be convincing. So
I'll just keep an eye out for them then, and so if they happen to come in the inn, I'm kind of ready to act and like hide my face and look a little.
I think I'm a little more recognizable than you are, considering they saw me bolt out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
But Fades and Oz know that they probably weren't seen.
I'm going to continuously add a mole on the tip of Jimothy's nose with minor illusion.
And I'm gonna whisper to the group. So I'm sitting with him now, I guess. Maybe I got up and.
I mean, it's up to you. You see him if you want. Jimothy's did whisper. Yeah. So I mean, we can just say you just went over there once you saw him.
Yeah. So I mean, 4 members of my party coming in. That'd be crazy if I didn't notice them, especially a silo. So I'm gonna come over and whisper. Yeah, I went to the speaker's house and I told them that you guys were here trying to collect, just collect information about the moose stuff. So, maybe you guys stepped out for a second to look about the town, but we definitely weren't up near that ramshackle place. Definitely not. But the speaker is receptive to us helping. I said that the price for our services would be negotiable later, but she would definitely give us some cookies. They were good cookies, but just weird. She doesn't have like a reward set aside for the moose. So
are they as good as the muffins?
No. I mean they are.
They're not like at metagaming wide, I'll say this, they're not like addicting good, like there's something that's specifically addicting, but they're pretty damn good. Like they taste fantastic. Okay. So yeah.
And then I'll relay to them that, those loggers are talking about a ghost that they saw out there, and I kind of remember hearing about this famous type of elven warrior, but I can't tell who it is. Kind of describe it to Oz, hoping maybe anything can jog his memory, but I can't remember who it could be. So
so it was an elven ranger, you said.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you know, Zoran, all elves know each other, so does this individual sound familiar?
Why don't you give me a history check to see if you know who this is?
24.
24. Okay, so based on your knowledge as well, you did quite a bit of history, and in terms of like you're like, oh, okay, famous elven ranger, that doesn't seem quite right. Like you're just like you're kind of like sticking through, like it seems like, if it was famous, everyone would know about them, right? Like and then you really did like some of your extensive studying, so you're like you look at Zoran and you're just like it's like, well, Zoran's
infamous
and a ranger. Maybe this individual's claiming that someone saw Zoran. You're not exactly sure. It seems like you're just like, this seems to be a bit odd here. And Zoran, you would know that, like, these guys were kind of just all telling a bunch of random stuff. So Oz, you kind of like you're not convinced. Like there's it would immediately have come to you with that who it was, and it's not coming to you.
And you said those individuals at that table over there were the ones talking about the Elven Ranger? You're muted.
Yeah, the people over there behind me.
I'm gonna take a good look at Zoran. Just gonna look at her. I'm gonna look at her bow, her cloak. Just gonna kind of like embed that in my mind as I walk over to the table with the loggers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and do some social interaction, which Oz is definitely a pro at, just like I am at, in real life.
All right. So you go up to them. You're like, "Hello, how do you do?"
Pretty much frail, never lifted an axe in my life.
All right, what are you saying then? They notice you coming up to them.
I heard that one of you might have mentioned a ghost that looked like an elven ranger.
And then one of them goes, "Yeah, piss off, you fancy pants. There's no ghost here."
Well, that's rude. Can I see outside the inn? Does the inn have windows?
Let me see here. Actually, I think this one's like, no, this one's actually entirely boarded up. It's all wood.
Well, no free drink for you, sir.
And he's like, wait. You he's like, free drink. What do you want to know?
Like I said, none for you, sir. I keep my word.
All right. One of the other guys chimes up. Not the one that was telling the stories, or you're kind of like observing this, a different one. He's like, wait. We kind of explored these woods quite a bit. We've seen lots of things. What are you looking for?
I'm going to do a minor illusion of Zoran in her full ranger gear, about 2 feet high on the table. So, like, it's going to be, like, to scale, just 2 feet high.
And you look at them. How's this tavern up to go? It's not up to go. It doesn't even have closets in the rooms.
No window to get out of here.
No, just kidding. Okay, so they all go like, whoa. All right. They're just like, and then one of them goes like, wait a minute, isn't that your friend over there?
Well, you were describing an elven ranger, and she is an elven ranger, and so I figured, I would walk 10 feet and produce an illusion of someone 10 feet away.
And the guy who told the story kind of looked up, and he's just like, I mean, I don't know, I couldn't quite tell. It could be her.
Well, hey Zoran, are you a ghost?
Oh, I'm very much alive.
Sounds like something a ghost would say.
And the other guy chimes in.
I might have some unfinished business I wasn't aware of.
The guy's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is the elf, but I don't know. I was scared. It was a ghost. You don't just stick around and just hang out with the ghost.
Why not?
Because I don't know how to fight a ghost. I just chop trees, man.
Oh. You could talk to her about the last tree you chopped.
What a humble tree chopper.
It's simple work, but someone's got to do it. No, and he's just like, I don't. Look, what do you want from me? Can I get the free drink or what?
How many people are at this table?
There's about 6 people at this table.
I'll go up to the bar and I'll order the table around.
And they all like cheer. They're like, hey, to the Roby one. And then one of them stops you and he's like, wait. Are you interested in other stories or other things? Like I said, we've seen lots of stuff in the woods. We've been around.
What's this about a moose?
oh, and they all kind of like calm down. It's just like, and they get a little quiet, and they're just they've been around. They they're just, and one of them, kind of one of the older gentlemen, he speaks up, and he's just like, well, yeah. So there's this moose. It seems like it's targeting us. It appears wherever we're starting to do our work, we have to kind of run off. I don't know. We try to like find it, but it seems like it's one step ahead of us. Like it knows where we're at, like at all times.
Is it
I don't know.
in here with us right now?
It seems to be only kind of. I don't know. We haven't seen it in Lonelywood proper, but it seems to be just as soon as we go into the woods in its domain, that it's almost waiting for us whenever we're ready to start up our operations.
When's your next operation?
Well, it's probably. I mean, we haven't decided. That's kind of our thing here. We kind of decide whether we're gonna do it tomorrow. We haven't gone in the past couple days, but they need the wood. They need the lumber. We have to go out there.
Well, why don't I talk to my companions, but maybe we could travel with you. As you can tell, I'm no logger myself. And I'll like peel back my robes to show off my stick arms.
And they'll kind of like a light chuckle, a little bit more lighthearted now. And they're like, well, look, we haven't voted whether we're going to go out there yet. I mean, we've already lost a handful of men, and we're not looking to lose any more.
Well, what if my group could provide security and maybe, we're here to try and deal with this moose, whether that's negotiate or dispatch. We'd like to see you guys get back to your work and see the town kind of restored to prosperity, whatever that takes.
And they kind of look at you, they're like, really? You do that? What do you want in return?
Obviously, fame and fortune.
Well, we know who we are. We'd be telling tales of your exploits if you were able to get rid of this thing for years to come. That's for sure. I mean, we don't have that much money. We're lucky. We're simple men. I don't know. Maybe the speaker could give you something, but that's above our pay grade.
Well, my elven friend said something about some really good cookies, so I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah. All right. Let me talk amongst the men here. Give us a moment, and if not all of us go, maybe one or two of us go out with you. Who knows where our next spot is going to be, and if you clear things up, I'll send for their men to come out here.
All right.
You guys seems like a fair deal.
Yeah, I'll head back to my companions and kind of let them know what we talked about, and we can sync back up.
And they kind of look at you like, what's your name, friend?
My name. You may call me Oz.
All right, Oz. Well, yeah, we'll get back to you here in a moment. Thank you. And they kind of like turn and they start like. They continue drinking for a bit, and then do you return to your table, or do you just kind of wait for them to?
I mean, I assume my table's not that far away, so I'll head back and let them know what I talked about.
Okay. You talk. They start kind of arguing. You notice that they're like, I don't want to go. What the hell? I don't know who these Southerners are. They're like, no, man. They're the Southerners. They deal with shit. You remember that thing in Bremen? They handled that. They're like, no, man. It's like, they weren't in Bremen. They were in Caer Dineval. They were doing some shit up there. They've been all over. And they're like, nah, no, come on. Like, really? You think they do all this shit? just for the sake of kindness? I'm like, no, didn't you hear the freaking skinny one? They do it for fame and fortune. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, well, I'm not going. And they're like, well, I'm not going either. Like, I don't want to go out there just to get killed, especially with some Southerners. And then the older guy who you spoke to with, I was like, all right, enough. And he points to the young kid. He's like, you will go. You'll go with them. You know where it's gonna be. And then it's like we've got families and lives worth living. You don't have anybody who'd miss you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, young hopeful youth with your whole life in front of you because you don't have a wife and kids. Go die in a war.
And the guy's like, oh, please, I don't want to go. No. And everyone's like, they kind of like start like smacking their mugs against the table, like, no. He's going. They're like, yeah, he should go. He hasn't really earned the right to hang out with us anyway.
Or
Is this like the D&D tavern version of 1, 2, 3, not it?
Pretty much. And so I'm just like, all right, you so the old guy kind of like grabs the young kid around the shoulder, kind of puts him to his feet. He's like, sighs, and he's just kind of goes to him, and he's just like, and he goes up to you, Oz, and he's like, perfect. You'll take young Gabe here, with you.
Does Gabe have a last name? Newell, maybe?
And he Newell? No, it's not. And then he looks at him.
Daniel, what the fuck? It's so immature.
I'm literally trying to tell a story and I can't even focus, god damn it. Alright. Okay, so and the older guy, he's like, no, Gabe's got no last name, he's a damn orphan. Nobody's gonna take him. He's like, yeah, you can call him Logger. Gabe Tree for all I care. But he's gonna go with you. Hey, he knows the spot. He knows where we're gonna go hike. Gonna go chop trees next. He'll take you there. And then Gabe goes, he's like, please. And he kind of looks up to him. He's like, I don't really want to go, but I need the money. I need to get this job back. So yeah, I guess I'll go with you. I don't really got much else. So, and he says that to you, Oz, but he's kind of like addressing the table. And the older guy's like, perfect. So, and he kind of like, hey, here, I'll let you, young Gabe, you can chat with them, and then I'll get back to my drinking here. And then he kind of starts heading back. So Gabe kind of like sits down awkwardly. So he's like, well, so what are you thinking? And you really think you could protect me out there?
No, we can. Sorry, my train of thought was off on something else related to the moose. Did Zoran like mention that it sounded like the moose was communicating? Like that this moose might be intelligent and not just a moose?
Yes.
Okay, so Zoran's nodding that she did. So I've heard that this moose seems smarter than normal.
And he kind of like thinks for a second, and he's just like, look, to be honest, I don't really want to be a logger. I was really like, out of all these loggers here, I'm the only one who knows how to read. So I know a little bit of history, a little bit of lore. They say there's druids out there druids in the woods. One in particular named Ravison.
Do you also know how to write?
Oh, of course. Yeah, let me type in this virtual tabletop.
Oh, those are some impressive futuristic terms.
I think that's the spelling. Anyhow, I don't know. A lot of stories you hear that druids can do a lot of different things with animals and beings and trees and stuff. Legend has that they can manipulate and control animals or become animals. Don't know what's true is it. I haven't come across any really druids, though the men say they claim to see a lot of different things.
Does Oz know anything about druids? I'd like to believe that he does because it's type of magic.
Yeah, what are you looking to know? And we'll kind of roll to see it. Kind of like you see, what are you trying to understand or what are you trying to know? And then we'll kind of roll based on whether you have that information or not.
Basically, just kind of general capabilities of druids, whether or not they can turn into animals, control animals, summon them, that kind of thing.
Sure. Why don't you give me either give me history or an arcana check for that.
24.
Okay. With a 24, yeah, you understand that there's various different forms of magic and in terms of like spirits and stuff like that. And druids definitely partake in that. And so yeah, you would have a pretty basic understanding of it. You would think that if you're able to kind of gain control or like almost you kind of have to have a little bit higher capability in terms of like druidic powers to do that. To gain that kind of level of like I don't want to say like domination or like control or being able to communicate at that level where you can dictate something that what they can do seems to be a bit higher level. So you're not, if this is what's true, if this is what the dots are connected, then you would seem like this Ravison might be quite a formidable foe or formidable magic wielder, I guess, in some sense.
Well, it's certainly possible that what you're describing is, a caretaker of the lands around here and is unhappy maybe with what you guys are doing with cutting down the trees. You would also think that they could just communicate like a normal person with words or maybe a strongly written letter. I don't know.
And he kind of looks at he's like, look, I don't know. Like I said, I've never encountered one of them. I mean, they have their reasons. Druids, especially up here, they a lot of them might get their powers from Oral, the Frostmaiden herself. It's maybe doing her bidding. It's different way of operating. So I can't really tell you. That's about the extent of it. But yeah, that's I can. She's out there, or there are other druids out there, so there's not just one.
Well, why don't we go out tomorrow morning? We'll do what we can to keep you safe and communicate with this moose and see if we can figure out what it wants.
All right. No, that's perfect. Thank you. Get some rest and as he's kind of like getting up to kind of like go back and join the table, he stops. And he kind of looks at you. He's like, you seem to know a lot about magic and all this stuff. Can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever been walking into something thinking you're going the right place and you feel like you're being displaced magically, like you end up being somewhere else? like where you thought you were shifts or becomes something different. Like something's like preventing you from going where you think you want to go, and it takes you. I don't quite understand, but sometimes the men and I, when we've been walking, we kind of approach something, and then we seem to take a step, and we end up like almost jumping over or skipping or going around or anyhow, something like that. I can't describe it. It's almost instantaneous.
Does what he's describing sound familiar? I mean, it kind of sounds like a mix between illusion and maybe teleportation abilities.
Yeah, it seems like it's a bit more. I'm a bit more at like it seems like it's a bit more on like the illusion side of things rather than the teleportation side of things, based on what he's describing. You know, like I said, he's not quite exactly sure, but
there are strong magics, and illusion can do quite a bit. It can range from, you know, the illusion of my friend Zoran here, and I'll reproduce it again, to kind of far more powerful effects. So what you're describing sounds kind of like that on a larger scale.
yeah, well, I don't know. There's the reason I say it, you know, the forest's lore goes that the forest prevents you from seeing certain things. There's supposed to be ruins and other stuff out there, shrines and all this stuff. So anyhow, that's what I've read. I don't know how relevant it is to you, but that's something that we did come across in our last couple of times travel. Sequentially, but not every time, but at least a couple of times.
Good information to know.
Okay. So with that, we'll say that he kind of retreats back. Is there anything you guys want to do before the...
How much was the round of drinks?
Oh, the round of drinks. So they were 2 silver each. So, one. So what is it? 12 silver? Yeah, 12 silver because there's 6 of them.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm broke now. Can't afford anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah. So Bofades, hearing all these people talking about the Southerners, is of course going to at some point sing a song about ourselves and our glorious trip to the north, and how we are bringing civilization to this frozen wasteland.
Yeah. Cool. What details do you include in this like story? What are you regaling them about?
So here I will be talking about, because of course you know that they mentioned some of our previous exploits, but I'll be talking about what drove us to this town and why we are qualified to be doing what we're doing.
Okay.
To really instill that confidence in all these drunks that we won't royally mess up their town.
All right. Give me a performance check. Oh my god.
This is why we...
So they kind of turn around and they
confidence instilled.
one of them like takes their sets down their ale and they're like, that was so horrible. I'm quitting drinking for the rest of my life. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're just like, boo, get off the stage. They're like, learn how to play, you idiot. And like they're just saying a bunch of like mean shit as you're playing.
Worst bard ever.
I think you've only like had like a 20% success rate in all the towns you've been to.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, can you
redeem yourself like the second night? You're definitely like a second night kind of performer.
I'm
The
more of
first
a
one,
second night guy.
yeah. If you're doing like a weekend show, and like the first one's a little bit rough, it's like, oh, this was just like the rehearsal.
Are you saying he's not effective at prima nocta?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so after you guys all and everyone, even the party included, hears this, like, it's almost like he tries to say too much, like it doesn't quite get like all the details correctly. Yeah, so it's not the greatest performance. So what do you guys want to do? Let's boom with the native.
I just feel like I got too lost in the story and couldn't make my way back to the bridge to like hit the chorus. Like,
Right, exactly.
What time in the day is it? Is it like evening or?
Yeah, it looks like it's like pretty early evening. So you guys can continue drinking for the rest of the night. If you guys want to start looking for some housing or whatever.
I think we should look for some rooms for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
does the Lucky Liar have rooms?
The Lucky Liar, out of all the places, actually doesn't have rooms. It is strictly just an imbibing place.
Then I'll ask the bartender where we could get some lodging.
And she looks at you and she's just like, well, it used to be the Ramshackle, but that's boarded up. I don't know. I think, honestly, no, I don't think any place has. You could maybe stay with the speaker. She every now and then lets diplomats or other speakers stay there.
All right, I'll head over to the speaker. I'll let my party stay here. I'll tell him. I'll go speak to the speaker huddle. See what she can.
Okay. All right. What are you guys gonna just kind of hang out here in the meantime, and we'll let Zorn go, or do you guys want to?
Yes,
seems like she wants to.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to go.
I'd probably just go with Zoran.
Didn't know if you guys wanted to stay for this train wreck that's both 80s and its performance.
Yeah, no, I'd go with Zoran.
Bophades isn't even wanting to stay with Bophades right now at this point, so.
All right. What about you, Timothy?
I'll go with Zoran.
Okay. So you guys you're walking out. You walk out, and then you notice after a bit, that the barkeep comes out behind you, and she actually approaches you, Jimothy. And she's like, "Excuse me, do you have a minute?
Yes.
Can we?" She looks there. Do you mind if we spoke in private?
Oh. What is her race and age?
She looks like she's like in her early 20s, and she is a human.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go with her.
Very nice.
Yeah, so she goes, she's just like, I'm sorry, but as you kind of pull aside, and the rest of you are just watching this as Jimothy kind of goes, you guys can say something. I mean, you don't just kind of, you can just be like, if you guys want to say something, we are wondering why. But okay, so Jimothy,
I'm gonna like kind of ask Jimothy, do you want us to wait for you, or do you want to just meet us at the speaker's house?
I'll just meet you there.
Cool.
As Jimothy's walking away, I'm going to play a little ditty of bardic inspiration for him, just in case he needs it.
Oh my god.
And
I like how my mind is the one mind that didn't go there.
And
so
Well,
Oh,
and
I
through
went with someone eventually attacking you and you needing bardic inspiration to get out.
Okay, that's what I was expecting. Was this person
that's
look like?
that's what that's for. That's a little back pocket.
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
for a
escape
performance
plan.
Yeah,
check.
this is. Well,
I was going to
okay,
say,
I-
if
Like, if
if
he's
Psychic
lying.
Whispers, if Psychic Whispers is still up, I'd just telepathically tell him, "Stay virtuous, my friend."
Oh my god. Okay.
Daniel
All
went
right.
straight to the other thing.
So, Timothy,
No, that-
you're
Two.
you're with that, and she so she kind of speaks like, I'm sorry, I noticed that you found a chest. I saw it when you walked in. Considering that that belongs to my family, I was wondering where you got it. She's like, the contents of it are very important to me, and I thought we as my family stored it up in the ramshackle, and
In the few seconds that I looked at it, did I see anything that would have been like, oh, maybe this is like an important family thing, heirloom or something?
nothing like of immediate value. You notice that there was like papers, letters. There was like a journal in there as well, and then there was money in there. That was like the main thing that you saw. You didn't really ruffle through. There could be other things in there, but there. So she's just like, so if you wouldn't mind taking that, giving it back, or maybe come some sort of arrangement. So she's just kind of staring at you. She's just like, I don't really want any trouble, and I can't force it to take it from you, but it would mean a great deal if you would give it back.
Yeah, I think Matt's thinking more than Jimothy's thinking.
Whatever. I mean, it's play it however you want to play.
The ramshackle, was it like abandoned, or is it just? I mean, I know the city was storing crap up there, but like the city storing crap up there, and then they left this chest full of valuables. I guess I'll do it. Can I tell? She's telling the truth.
So the lore so far is like the place used to be owned by a man named DeGroots, or we weren't sure if it's first name, last name, but you saw that the DeGroots was on the chest.
And he killed himself, right?
He supposedly killed himself. It seemed, and then it seems like the town just reacquired the ramshackle and then just decided to use it for storage.
Oh, and one fun fact we didn't mention in the recap is that they found some drugs in this building.
Yes.
Zoran doesn't know that because I wasn't there, but the group did find drugs in there. Nefarious.
And
Yeah, sorry. That was actually, yes, thank you.
Okay.
That
What
does
if-
change things.
Supposing someone did find a chest, what is it you are looking for from it?
Well, it contains, and she kind of describes some of the context. There was a ring. There was a couple of precious gems, some money, personal documents with the family. There was a couple of, and she was just like, there was a couple of, I don't remember what it was. I think it was just like pictures, I think, sketchings, drawings.
Are my friends already gone?
Yeah, they're gone.
I'll see what I can do, and then I'll leave.
They're like, wait, hang on. And she's like, and
why would you? I'm not there, but why would you store this in an abandoned fucking rundown building? You're like, let's put all of our loot in that building. I guess because it had giant bugs. in it?
Yeah, it seems all like weird and stuff like that. So she's and she lets you go. She doesn't pursue you.
Does she yell anything after me, or she just lets me go?
She was just like, wait, please, and you run off.
Or maybe she knew her family was up to no good, and she just knew that there was some chest filled with, gold. She just didn't know where it was.
Yeah. As I'm running away, am I able to glean if she was being truthful, or seemed shady, or?
Yeah, give me an insight check to see like the extent of like the accuracy of everything, or like maybe a little bit in terms of like
What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on?
I'll use my, not the bardic inspiration, but I'll use my die. Other formula.
Oh, nice.
14, I guess.
14. Okay. So with that, you gather that she's being completely truthful. Like the content she listed, like she understands like what this is, or you're not quite sure whether the emotive, like she was like, she was shady per se. You can't quite tell that, like, because seems like she was being pretty earnest in terms of like it seems like it does belong to her, her family, or she has a relationship with the DeGroots of some sort. And like the contents she listed, like are, she seems like she has a pretty decent idea of what's in there. One thing that was a bit off, right, was like the ring was found in the mimic chest rather than in this particular chest. So that seems off, but there could be reasons for that as well. That's like the only thing that's like doesn't add up per se.
So I'll before I catch up with the rest of the party, I'm gonna stop briefly and just look through the chest real quick and see if there seems to be anything outside of what she mentioned in the chest.
Okay, so you start going through. Yeah, you find some money. You find, actually, let me see how much you find actually. Okay, yeah, you find 5 platinum pieces. You find 42 gold pieces. You find 112 silver pieces, and no copper pieces. Seems like it was just kind of like high value in this.
And then I found basically the other items that she mentioned, everything else.
Yeah, you find the precious gems. You gather that that's probably maybe just like an additional like 150 gold's worth of gems. But you don't find the ring in there, and you do find the papers and the journal in there. You don't have time to like rifle through it, but you do confirm like the name DeGroots is kind of like on there as well. So if you want to sit down and look, like, but you're outside, right? Like you kind of like quickly through it. If you want to like start like going through it, that'll take a little bit of time.
No, I just wanted to just look through it.
Okay, cool. Dumb girl wants her family. All right. So you eventually, so the rest of you first, you get inside. You get to the speaker's house. The guards, one of the guards up front isn't one of the guards that was pursuing you. Different guard. So that's a critical.
I don't recognize the guard either.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Seems like it's a different shift or something like that.
Does he look like he's like standing guard, or can I just be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then
he's gonna like, it's cold out here, right? So he's like lean as far into like the building as back as he can, try to avoid the wind, like positioning himself. He's like doing the bare minimum to kind of like be guarding.
Look at me, I'm doing my job, technically.
Yeah. And so he sees you, he kind of like stands up, comes to his feet, and he's just like, "Yes, what can we do for you?"
I'm here to speak to Speaker Huddle. I talked to her earlier about your moose problem. I needed to get some more details from her.
And the rest of your compatriots, are they with you?
We're all together.
All right. Are they on the same mission, though? It seems like... Do you need all of you? Do all of you need to go in? I don't understand why...
Yes. It's
Hmm.
cold out
Cold
here.
out here.
Well,
Can't leave us out here in the cold.
I see you have weapons, though. Would you mind leaving them up front here with me?
I do mind, and Speaker Huddle understands. You can even have the speaker come out this way.
Give me a persuasion check.
You wouldn't part a wizard with, from his walking stick, would you?
Old man and his stick.
I'm 5.
Okay, so he's just like, I'll be right back, and he quickly runs in. He's just looking at an excuse to get out of the cold, and then like maybe after a minute or two, just keeping you out there, he comes back out. He's like, "All right, come in. You can bring your stuff."
Cool.
I'll hobble forward using the stick as, just leaning on it.
So you come in. You notice that there's a bunch of like little, because she's a halfling, the speaker. You notice that there's a bunch of like little children running around the house. They're like, "Tag, you're it," and like playing that, and they're like running around, and they're quarterlings. And then eventually you get into her office, and she's just like, "Oh, you're back! Hello, hi, hello, dearies."
As we walk by the guard, I like poke him in the back of the neck, like with my, cold metal finger.
And he's like, "Ugh." And and so she's like, "Oh yes, what can I do for you? Did you get the moose?"
I'm gonna say I haven't gotten the moose yet. Calm down. I just saw you like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, well, it was okay. Little longer.
No, we require some lodging. Apparently, there isn't any at the Lucky Liar. So, suggestions? They told us to come over here.
Well, I suppose I could host you. You'd have to share a room, but it'd be a bit tight. Is that all right?
Fine.
Okay. Yeah, she's just like, I'll throw a couple more potatoes or something like that. A couple more meat. You're more welcome to stay here. And she's just like, all right, and she's like, kids. And the kids kind of like start coming in. And she like pulls out like a thing of keys, and she like kind of like ruffles through the like keys against one of them, kind of like the bigger looking one. She's like, why don't you all go upstairs, open up one of the rooms, and or two of the rooms here, and clean up and set it up here for our guests here. And then the kids are like, "Oh, all right, Grandma," and then they start running up the steps, stairs, all excited to go do something for their guy. And she's like, "Oh, would you like some cookies in the meantime?"
Is that me or the grandkids?
Well, I sent the kids up there. I could offer you some. They're already full of sugar. They don't need any more right now.
Yeah, I take a cookie if you're offering.
All right, and she kind of like goes and like brings out like a little plate, and sits in front. He's like, please, have a seat.
I'd hand the speaker like a couple of rations to help with the food for the evening.
Oh, you're so kind. I'm so sorry, but I haven't ever seen one of your kind before. This is so nice, so splendid. And so she's like, and she goes like runs into the kitchen, and she's in the kitchen. She's like, so I've been thinking about what I could offer you if you get the moose. I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I mean, is she gonna make us take kids with us?
She's like, well, considering that this town's a bit short on cash for a bit, gold and supplies. There used to be an inn here. You might have passed it. One of the guards were mentioning this. Called the Ramshackle. I actually own the deed of the building now, since the past owner passed away. The previous owner passed away. What if I gave you the deed to the establishment?
What happens to all the stuff that's in there?
And she's like, well, of course you could keep the stools and the tables, and yes, I'd probably it'd take some time for it to be cleared out with some of the stuff we stored in there. But it'd be all yours. Bed frames, beds, and everything. It could make a pretty penny with it.
When we were walking by, it looked like it had a bit of a bug problem.
I'm sorry, bugs? Well, I mean, of course. I mean, the bugs probably go inside, when, they're trying to escape the cold. Little insects, it's like expected. It's been abandoned for a while.
Yeah.
So, does that seem like a pretty good deal? What do you all say? If you set it up, hire a couple people, it'd be a good continuous stream of income. And real estate, it's an all-time high right now. Maybe you find an outside buyer, flip it.
Maybe we could be like a silent partner instead. So we could help you out, but maybe you can use some of that profit to, I don't know, put some money back in the community or something. Well, think about it, speaker.
Oh, all right. Well, the offer's out there. It's maybe all right. Well, that's really all I have right now. I mean, it would take some time for me to gather up some gold to maybe pay an adventuring group like yourselves. But anyhow, so how's the insurance coverage? Insurance coverage.
$0.
There's no flood insurance, but there's no property tax. So,
I'm gonna ask the speaker about this Elven Ranger. If there's been stories up here about that, since we heard some people in the tavern talking about it. She knows who this person is, or if she's heard rumblings about it.
And she's just like, no, I can't say I have. There's lots of beings out there. There's wolves, rabbits, moose, of course. I'm trying to think here. What other beings are out there? And she's like, a couple bears. Chewingas are out there. A couple of owlbears have been out there, spotted at some point. And she's just like, yeah, I would say, but I don't know about ghosts. That seems a bit weird.
No famous Elven Rangers in this part of your, in these parts that you know of?
Like I said, I don't particularly know too much of the lore and history about this stuff. I just kind of run the town, do the best I can, and then tend to the kids, tend to the grandchildren. I'm more of a like a mother or a grandmother now these days, and then occupying the managerial and bureaucratic needs of the town. That's mainly my task.
I'm gonna get a cookie from the plate and pass it around to my friends.
Okay, so you guys take it around. These are different. These are snickerdoodle cookies this time.
I hear these cookies are delicious. We're gonna have to try them.
You notice that these are like shaped of like they're like halflings. They're like little. They look like little halflings.
Like, Bothades was trying to look at Oz's face when he heard owlbears.
She turns to you, Jimothy, for a second. She's like, "Oh, a fellow small one. How are you, dearie?"
Good. It's very cold in the north.
Oh, isn't it dreadful? I hate when I moved up here, but it was of utmost need.
Yes. Well, I do hope to get back down to the south soon.
What brought you up here?
Moose.
Oh, I see. Well, of course. I'm sorry. I'm meaning from the south. You came all the way from the south to go to find a moose. I don't. Whatever floats your boat, dear. And so yeah, so you guys can talk to her as much as you want or as little as you want. If you guys want to kind of call it in, or if you guys want to ask her a couple more things, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I think we could. Well, I don't have any other questions, so probably go up to the room, see if Jimothy wants to open this chest to see if we need to put anything in our bag of holding. Maybe talk to. I mean, the only thing I guess we could ask her about the DeGroots, but I don't know if she would say anything.
Yeah, you could. She does have the title. I mean, she probably had to deal with that situation at some point.
So, what happened with the people who used to own the Ramshackle? How did it become part of the town instead of part of someone else's?
Oh, hi. And she kind of like looks over and sees that there's no like children listening on the conversation. And she's just like, it's really a dark story. The man, he owed a couple individuals some money from out of town. And then, but look, I think there's and I don't think it's strictly out of town. I think there's a couple of people here. She's just like, he didn't hear it from me, but have you been to the Scrimshander, the little shop nearby?
Yes, we have.
I think we stopped there on the way into town, right?
That was the one, the first one you went to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you stopped by there. She's like, there's something a bit odd about that place. I feel like now you know how like some people will like use like faith, be like, oh, Lord bless her soul or whatever and all that, like, and then starts talking mad shit. She's about to do that. She's like, oh, I'm not one to throw aspersions or anything like that. But I think that the owner of the establishment seemed to have quite a bit of interest in acquiring the ramshackle. She doesn't have the greatest of past, but we all have our faults, our problems, so she's like, anyhow, that's all I'll say to it. But yes, when we came upon that this DeGroots passed away in the establishment, I made there was a lot of uproar about who gets the town, someone claiming rights to it, families started coming in, members and stuff like this. It was a whole issue, and so I made the decision to kind of eminent domain, if you will, the town and the ramshackle, and we kind of proposed it to the people to kind of be like an extra storage space until we decided what we were going to do it as a town. as you can imagine, it's been a while since the place has been opened up again. And no one has really put up the coin that seems worthy enough to buy it. But, yeah, that's kind of the story for it. Did you have any questions with regards to that, or why are you interested in it?
I mean, having the one place of, normally reserved for lodging in a town being shut down and condemned is a little odd here in the north that we've noticed.
Well, yeah, I would agree. But we don't get too many visitors, and the visitors that do come, I offer them to stay here. They pay here, but I'm not going to charge you, considering you're about to help me out. Why don't you roll an insight check? Anyone can roll on this if you want.
Excuse me.
$16, 18, 11. So yeah, with the 16 and 18 for now. Yeah, sorry, but not much. You gather that she's not telling you everything. Like there seems to be something she's omitting from the whole story. But that's pretty much what you gather from that whole there. So she's like, well, anyhow, and she's like, I must get to meals, and she brings out the stews, brings out some rolls of bread, freshly baked, by the way. She's like, oh, please eat up. I'll go check on the children and see that the rooms are properly made, and then you may retire for the evening. So she leaves you to it. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to do anything in the meantime, or do you guys want to start fast forwarding a little bit to like the morning?
I think at this point, just call it a day. Wait for the morning to arrive, and we'll figure out what she's hiding.
Probably.
Yeah, the only thing I would suggest is asking Jimothy if we want to put the chest in the bag of holding instead of him carrying it around.
Well, that and, get in the room away from prying eyes and potentially ears. Go through the chest and, see.
Yes.
Excuse me. What kind of information can be gleaned from the documentation in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So, all right. So you guys eat. It's a pretty good meal. It's very warm. It's very filling. The place is pretty well insulated, so you don't feel too cold. She escorts you guys upstairs. And she's like, "Oh, I've taken it upon myself to boil up some water for you, so you can take a nice hot bath. You might not have had one in a very long time." So she's like, hopefully this will be a nice retreat. And you notice the room's actually pretty nice.
So is she implying that we're smelly?
Maybe. She's trying to be nice, and she's like, and the room is nice. Like it's got, and you notice like there's like these two large tubs, one with like hot water, and someone's got like and there's like a third you can like bathe yourselves and whatnot. So she's just like, yes, and if you need anything, please don't have to ask. I'm downstairs. I have my room downstairs. You can there's always a guard. You can ask one of them, and then they'll come get one of me. But with that, I hope you get to a nice rest and gives you the energy to take on the moose tomorrow. And she kind of like holds up her fist all extra. And you guys don't say anything, so she's like, all right then. Good night. And then she starts like going down the steps. Okay, so so I don't know if you heard Matt, but like Jim Siler or Daniel suggested if you wanted to go through the chest now, you could see what you find, or if you want to hold off, wait off. There's only 2 rooms. There's 2 beds in each of them, so one of you might kind of have to go without, essentially.
I volunteer as tribute to stand outside like I
gonna
always
say,
do.
With the guy who stands and the elves that go into trances for, what, 2 hours?
4.
I think Jimothy and I are the only ones that need a full 8 hours.
Yeah.
So the beds are ours.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah. Okay, we're at time here, so we'll say that, Jimothy, if you want to go through the chest now, you can. If we'll kind of let that be the last thing. We'll let you guys do the rest, and then we'll kind of pick it up there next time that turns out. Did you want to go through it then? It's up to you. Your call. We can push it off till next time. That's either.
And I kind of already did go through it. I guess I could briefly look through real quick and see if I see anything new, but I'll open it up in front of everyone so they can see what's inside, and then I will recount what the girl said about wanting her stuff back.
Okay. So you guys get all that information. You notice that there's some letters, a journal in there. You notice that. Do you keep the gold for yourself and the valuables, Timothy, or are you going to split that up with the party?
I left everything in the chest, and I said that, like, I'm not handing anything out. Like, I opened it and showed people what's in it, but I'm not giving anything to anyone.
Okay. Okay.
Can we? So, what are the papers in the journal? At least, is it like anything super important, or is it just, I don't know, news clippings or something?
We can look. I would like to offer for people to look through that and see what it is.
Okay, great. So you notice that the journal is more of just like the business accounts. So like that for the past, it seems like the place kind of like stopped. Like it was like 2 years ago that the last recording of it is. So it's been abandoned for quite a bit. That's the first thing you notice, and it's got a bunch of information. A bunch of different names. In terms of counts, barrels, and whatnot. The letters, though, on the other hand, seem to be a bit more of an interest, and they're kind of like a collection of different things. Sorry, let me go back to the journal for a second. In the journal, it's kind of like splits kind of like a personal, like almost like a diary. Like sometimes he collects his thoughts and stuff like that, and in like some of the pages. And you notice that he doesn't speak too kindly about the speaker. That the speaker is kind of like always been on him, started imposing attacks on him about, money that's being generated from the ramshackle. That happened maybe like 3 years ago. You notice that he mentioned someone, a couple of people from Caerdinival came by, requesting that if they were willing to stop selling alcohol and sell other things, and that would be in best interest for him. And you guys recall that when you guys were in Caerdinival, that was something that you guys encountered with, that there were some fanatics that were anti. You notice that as well that the owner of the Scrimshander, Iskri, that's the lady's name that you've met there. She also seemed to be saying like causing like requesting to buy the ramshackle, or like become a partner in the ramshackle, like she had an interest in it. And then one of the letters, this is not going back to the letters, kind of indicates that a Zardarok came by to the or one of the members of, you don't know if it's like Zardarok, but he said one of the Sunblights, but he has a bunch of sons that you gather, came by to the ramshackle and offered him a deal to hold stuff for him. in exchange for some money, some extra patronage, some extra stuff. All he had to do was hold some items for him in the ramshackle, and just going to be a base of operations for some of their stuff. Yeah, drugs potentially. Hint, hint. And so he kind of kept that. You notice that there's a couple of sketchings in there. It seems like he liked to draw random things, or someone else drew stuff for him. You're not exactly sure. There's a couple drawings of just like the ramshackle building. That's pretty good, pretty decent sketch. You know, there's a couple of sketches. You notice a sketch of a chewinga. That's a kind of interesting. One of the creatures that you've met before, little tree-like creatures. You notice something that's a bit interesting. You notice a large, like, almost like crystal, like a very large crystal that has kind of like a half dome at the top of it, where rather than being a pointy edge, it's almost like a half dome that he drew, and it looked like it's like emanating a bunch of like light from it. And then you notice there's another sketch in there, and it seems like it's like a sketching of the barkeep that you met. Is in there. There's a couple sketches of her in there. One of her is like reading, or one of her is like at the bar, it seems. And that's like a French girl. No, not like that. All PG-13 or not, or PG.
PG.
Rated
G.
G.
Yeah. G.
It's just a
Yeah, it's all
square.
Pixar animated.
The
So,
Minecraft edition.
Yeah, it's a Minecraft. So that's kind of what you find, and then the last thing, the last piece of information that you find is that is kind of like almost like his will, or some sense. He's just like, and he says, make sure I get his name right. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Okay. So you notice that there, so it says to Danae. That's the name. I'll type it here. Excellent. That's right. And then we'll wrap up here. So to Danae. I've gone in over my head. I love you very much, but it seems that my debts, my issues, my enemies, everything has caught up to me. I'm not long for this world. They will come for me soon. I leave you everything. I leave you the ramshackle. I leave you my possessions. I leave you whatever it is that I have to my name. Please, if you find this letter, note that this is all it's meant to be yours. There will be others that come to claim it from you, maybe even take it from you. You're a fantastic, you're a fantastic friend. You're a fantastic individual, and you're the love of my life. And I'll miss you very, very much. And it's just like, and then he just signs De Groot's at the bottom. And that seems to be like the end of it. That's like kind of like towards like that's the last thing you find. So you have this information. So you're not exactly sure what to do with that. You can ask questions, but Danae, just a small town girl. She is just a small town girl.
Oh, she's living in a lonely world.
I mean, potentially.
Did the Groots have a first name?
It's kind of interesting. You find that his first name is Marcus.
So it's not Jack and Danae.
No, it's not Jack and Danae. His first name is Marcus. So, okay. So, yeah, what do you guys want to do with that? Do you guys want to just like, let's burn the shit? Burn all evidence of any of it?
I say we put it in the bag of holding to decide what to do with it later.
Okay.
Put everything back in the chest and then put the chest in the thing.
We could use this kind of as an investment if we take care of the moose problem and get the deed. Maybe Danae could run an inn for us up north and bring in coin.
Yeah, but technically, isn't it hers anyways?
Details, small details.
Just say.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure Jimothy's familiar with the term finder's fee.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say finders keepers.
That also works.
I'm also fine with being a silent partner, but we can decide that later, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we're over time here, so we'll stop here for the night, and you guys can kind of figure out next time what you want to do with it. Think on it. What you're going to decide upon, and then.
Yeah, who does want this ring of protection? I mean, I do feel like maybe a Silo, since he takes lots of hits for us.
Blunt force trauma to the brain.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Oh my god, I regret giving this out.
Oz has an AC of 10, so this ring ain't helping him do anything.
No.
So
it is pretty valuable. You can also flip it.
Celso's like, please sell the fucking ring.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want a Silo to have it, that's great. I mean, it also has +1 to saving throw, so like that's pretty valuable in itself.
Yeah.
That can be valuable to anybody.
Like I said, I will not say no to that ring.
Yeah.
I'll hand it to a Silo for now then. And if the others in the group want to fight for it, they can fight a Silo for it.
Yeah.
Who with the ring is going to be stronger.
Has the ring on.
It's like, give me an hour.
Yeah.
But let's test this out. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, I gotta go to bed, so I will catch you guys
No worries.
later.
No worries. Yeah. Thanks for playing. We'll pick it up there next time.
See you guys.
Alrighty.
See everyone next week.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should